There was no press conference. There was no breaking news alert. There was no televised confrontation. And yet, the biggest story of the 2026 NASCAR season unfolded in plain sight, and almost everyone missed it. A small part on a race car was quietly changed. The entire garage walked right past it. Almost everybody. Brad Keselowski did not. Then he finally broke his silence with a single post on X. This didn't really get any media play, but was a big deal IMO. One line. No drama. No long speech. But it came from a man who drives the car and also owns the team, and that makes it worth stopping and looking at closely. If this kind of deep dive NASCAR coverage is what you are looking for, hit that like button and subscribe right now. It genuinely helps more than you know. Let us go back and walk through this whole story step by step, because once you see all the pieces laid out together, you will understand why this quiet little change might be far bigger than anyone realizes. 22 races are in the books in the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series season. Toyota has won 13 of them. Chevrolet has 6. Ford has 3. Toyota has more wins than Chevrolet and Ford combined, and it is not even close. This has not just been a good year for Toyota, this has been a complete takeover. Tyler Reddick of 23XI Racing sat first in the driver standings. Denny Hamlin of Joe Gibbs Racing sat second. At one point during the summer, if the regular season had ended that day, 7 Toyota drivers would have made the playoffs. Both Reddick and Hamlin put together streaks of 3 consecutive points race wins during the season. That is the level of control Toyota has held. Here is the cruel irony. The next-gen car was specifically designed to prevent this from happening. Same parts, same suppliers, same pieces bolted onto every car in the field. The goal was to squeeze everybody together so no single team or manufacturer could run away. Well, somebody is running away. So every crew chief, every engineer, and every driver in that garage has spent this season asking the same question. What is Toyota doing that we are not doing? That question is exactly where this story begins. On the July 28th episode of Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour podcast, co-host Mamba Smith mentioned that NASCAR had made a change involving the splitter on the next-gen car, framing it around Team Penske and specifically Joey Logano. I know there was a kind of a little adjustment with the nose of the car with the splitter that they feel like might help their program out a little bit when it comes to downforce, said Smith. Then he added a warning that sounded almost like a prophecy. You let people hang around that you're supposed to beat, and then they end up coming back and smacking you in the face. And then it's too late. That comment ignited social media immediately. Fans flooded the internet with questions. What adjustment? When did it happen? Why did nobody report on this? Now, if you are newer to racing, let us slow down. The splitter is that flat panel at the very bottom of the front of the car. It sits low, close to the track surface. Its job is to work with the air rushing over and under the car and push the nose down toward the ground. More downforce on the nose means more grip in the corners. More grip means the driver can carry more speed. More speed means better lap times. It is a small part. It does very big work. Here is the key concept. When a race car runs fast, air slams into the front with real force. That force can make the splitter flex bend slightly. You would never see it from the grandstands. It might be a tiny amount, but in this sport, tiny is everything. A small bend changes how air goes under the car, which changes grip, which changes how the car turns into a corner, which changes how a driver can chase competitors. A small bend repeated lap after lap can be worth real, measurable speed. So follow the logic to its natural conclusion. If one manufacturer figured out how to exploit that movement better than everyone else, that would be an advantage, a quiet one, a hidden one that lives entirely in the gray area of a rulebook that never anticipated it. That brings us to the confirmation. NASCAR reporter Bob Pockrass answered the question directly on X. Starting with North Wilkesboro, the teams had to add some struts to the front of the splitter that should keep it from moving/deforming while at speed. Whether that was a significant advantage Toyota found is debatable in the garage. They still were strong at Indy. Struts are simple support pieces. They brace something and hold it steady. NASCAR required every team to bolt them onto the front of the splitter. The stated purpose was to keep the splitter from moving or deforming while at speed. The reported origin of the discovery, Toyota. Pockrass was fair. He noted the debate inside the garage remains unsettled. But it is being talked about in every corner of it. Then Keselowski replied to that post with one line that turned a technical footnote into a headline. Now think about who just said that. Brad Keselowski is not a fan guessing on the internet. He is not a reporter working off rumors. He drives the 6 Ford at the Cup Series level and co-owns RFK Racing, one of Ford's flagship organizations. He feels this in the cockpit every single lap and in the boardroom every single week. When a man with that much skin in the game calls something a big deal, he is telling you what people inside the sport actually believe, regardless of what gets said publicly. So the natural next question is this: did the change actually work? At North Wilkesboro, Toyota cars took 4 of the top 6 finishing positions. At Indianapolis, Toyota finished 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 5th. The rule changed, the struts went on, and Toyota just kept doing exactly what it had been doing all year long. Ford did show improvement. Joey Logano was dominant at North Wilkesboro, and Ford placed 5 cars in the top 11 there. At Indy, Logano finished 3rd, and Ford had 4 cars in the top 8 and 7 cars in the top 15. That is a real measurable uptick in Ford performance across both races. However, both North Wilkesboro and Indianapolis are traditionally strong Ford tracks, making the sample murky. That leaves 2 possible answers, and both of them are bad news for everyone chasing. Answer 1. The splitter was never really the secret, meaning Toyota's speed is coming from somewhere else nobody has found yet. Answer 2. The splitter was part of the advantage, and Toyota is still this fast even after losing it. Pick whichever answer you want. Neither one helps Ford sleep at night. Keselowski has been building a much larger theory all season long. A lot of these races are won way before anyone gets to the racetrack, he explained, noting they are won in boardrooms through elite decision-making from team owners and increasingly from manufacturers themselves. Around 2020 and 2021, a large portion of engineering responsibility shifted from the teams to the manufacturer's rules he believes were originally targeted at Furniture Row Racing. A team that came in, spent big, won a championship, and then shut down. The unintended consequence was a stalemate of organizations where every manufacturer picked a favorite team, and resources flowed accordingly. Toyota recognized this stalemate and acted. Keselowski gave them direct credit. Toyota is one of the fastest, if not the best car in NASCAR. They got a lot of power, great aerodynamics, and the collaboration that they have amongst Joe Gibbs Racing 23XI, and even now we're starting to see that with Legacy. Their collaboration is very powerful. In his view, to beat Toyota, you need at least 2 elite organizations collaborating at very high levels, and he only sees Toyota doing that right now. From the Toyota side, Denny Hamlin called the dominance a fair advantage earned through hard work. Meanwhile, Ford sits at 3 wins in 22 races, and RFK Racing is stuck in results nobody at the company is proud of. Earlier in 2026, rumors circulated that RFK might walk away from Ford entirely, linking the team to Dodge, rumored to join as a 4th manufacturer in 2028. Keselowski shut that talk down himself on X, pointing out RFK has a multi-year agreement with Ford and committing to making them championship winners. When asked directly in July, he did not dodge it. We're committed to that. We want to be successful with them. We're hopeful that we can continue to innovate with them to this next level. We're in a lull right now that we don't want to be in. Ford doesn't want to be in the same lull. I feel pretty safe in saying that. The onus is on us to step it up and figure it out. He refused to blame his drivers either, pushing back on criticism of Joey Logano's 2026 season and calling it complete nonsense to blame drivers when the car is not where it needs to be, saying he feels the same way about himself. Loyalty is easy when you are winning. Loyalty is much harder when you have 3 wins, and the manufacturer across the garage has 13. There is also a new Ford body coming for the 2027 season that Keselowski believes should cut into the current gap. This is not a team giving up, it is a team playing a longer game. The playoffs are only 4 races away. 4 races for Ford and Chevrolet to find something real. 4 races to close a gap that has done nothing but grow since February. After the off week, NASCAR heads to Iowa, Richmond, Loudon, and Daytona, none of which will give a clear verdict on Toyota's true advantage. The real test lives on the mile-and-a-half tracks, and the truth will not fully reveal itself until the playoffs. The struts are bolted on, the change is done, and there is no undoing it. And so far, Toyota has not blinked once. No press conference, no breaking news, no shouting match. Just a small part quietly changed on a race car, and one man who noticed, understood, and said it out loud when nobody else in the sport bothered to. Brad Keselowski is building a larger theory about collaboration, manufacturer power, and boardroom decisions staying loyal to Ford even when the numbers make that loyalty look painful and putting the onus on himself to fix it. This channel is just getting started, and every single like and subscription genuinely moves us closer to our goal of 1,000 subscribers. If this story connected with you, please take 2 seconds to hit that button. It means everything at this stage of the journey. Now here is the question this entire story comes down to, and we want your honest answer in the comments. Was the Splitterflex Toyota's real secret weapon? And does the rule change level the playing field? Or does Toyota's advantage run so much deeper that the garage still has not found where it actually lives? Drop your answer below, because this debate is only just getting started. The 4 races before the playoffs are the calm before the storm, and what happens after is where we finally find out if Brad Keselowski was right all along.